Hello everybody and welcome back. So in this video I want to talk about a few other channels that I subscribe to that I think are really useful for people that might find my content interesting. Now I kind of hesitated to make this video because when you start mentioning other channels on your channel, it can come across as a little bit of hanging onto their coattails, so to speak, and I don't really want to do that. There's also the saying that if you stand next to somebody who's really good looking, it doesn't make you look good looking, it kind of highlights your flaws. So at the risk of highlighting my own flaws, I do want to mention some other channels that I really do believe that my subscribers would be interested in. I don't have a lot of subscribers, but many of my subscribers are new to the world of online. Some of them come from a professional network. Some of them come from my LinkedIn or my professional network of people that I work with, and they're looking for resources to help them be more effective in remote teaching and productivity related to remote teaching. So these are channels that I've subscribed to for some time in some cases, and in some cases they're channels that are newly discovered for me, but that I see a lot of value in for the objective of online teaching, and whether you're teaching a class or whether you're teaching yourself, i.e. personal productivity, I think these channels are useful. And so there's a total of 6 channels that I want to talk about. Some of them are really large. You may be familiar with them. In fact, the YouTube algorithm may have already recommended these channels to you. I think you should check them out. And in some cases, they're middle-sized channels, mid-sized channels, or there even one case, there's a very small channel that's just reached 1,000 subscribers, but I think it's really useful and you should check it out. Okay, so here they are. Okay, so let's start with the biggest of all the channels, and that's a gentleman by the name of Thomas Frank. You may have heard of him. He did college study skills or something along those lines. His channel is fantastic. It's extremely well edited, has a lot of great personal productivity content and a lot of learning content there. And the reason that I like this channel, and I've been a subscriber actually for some time, he's close to 2 million subscribers, 1.9 million subscribers at this point, but he'll be 2 million and beyond in no time at all, because his content is very valuable. I actually went and purchased his book on college study techniques quite some time ago because I wanted to look at it as a potential resource for some of my own students, and there's a lot of good information in there. Also, I'm a member of a thing called Skillshare, which is a resource for online learning, and he does a personal productivity course there that's quite good as well. So I highly recommend Thomas Frank. You should check him out. A lot of study skills and a lot of personal productivity tips in his channel. It's a really big channel. Most people that are into personal productivity already know about that channel, but he's got 1.2 or 1.9 million subscribers, almost 2 million subscribers, but he needs many more. So you should go to his channel, you should subscribe because it really is quite good. It's very good, okay? So the second channel I'd like to recommend is another fellow who has a lot of subscribers, about 800, 900,000 subscribers at this point in time. He'll be over 1 million really quick, and that's Abdaal. Now, a fascinating guy, really great personality. He's fun to watch, so I think that makes a big difference with his videos. Really lifestyle, educational, personal productivity, a really good channel for a lot of the things that I do, plus a lot of the things that are beyond, more personal productivity. I've watched a few of his interviews that he's done with some other creators that I thought were really good, really well done. And he's a medical student in England who is just a hyper-productive person. Went through med school, did really well in med school, is a doctor now, and has shared a lot of the experiences of how he studies and how he's personally productive. He's doing book reviews now, something that I plan to do as well, but he's got a few really good book reviews out there. So about 1 million subscribers, but great personality, well-shot videos, good information. So I'd highly recommend you check out Abdaal as well. Moving into some of the channels that are a little bit smaller, one channel that I discovered recently, so I haven't been a long-time subscriber to this channel, but has almost 400,000 subscribers, so it's not a small channel, but it's a mid-sized channel, and it's called Pocket Full of Primary, and it's a joy to watch this channel. And what I mean by that is it's not aimed at sort of the advanced, I do postgraduate training, so I'm used to dealing with adult learners. And the other two channels I mentioned, Ali Abdaal and Thomas Frank, deal more with an adult or a personal productivity. Pocketful of Primary deals with primary school. So it's a grade 4 teacher who talks about setting up her classroom, ways to engage younger learners, ways to make learning exciting and fun. And so you would think, well, if I'm not doing that for myself, if I'm not in primary school, obviously, and if I'm teaching older students, what would be my attraction to that channel? Well, it's just good fundamental teaching stuff. So there's some good skills in there. Not everything is going to be applicable to someone that's teaching remotely to an adult audience, but there's some good foundational teaching techniques that apply to every learner, regardless of your age. And I think sometimes it's important, especially when we're entering a new way of teaching, like remote learning and online training, to actually go right back to the fundamentals of what is good instruction. And Pocketful of Primary has a lot of videos that is just good fundamental instructional techniques that apply to every age group. So obviously if there's a video there on how to make paper dolls, I'm not going to use that with an adult audience. But if there's a video there on how to use a piece of technology to engage an audience and get them excited about learning, well, you know what? That applies to everybody. So I highly recommend Pocketful of Primary, a really fun channel, well-presented information with a lot of content that you can look through and get value out of. Fourth channel that I'd like to recommend is a very interesting person. His name is Kevin Stratvert. Make sure I get that right. Yeah, Kevin Stratvert. And he works for Microsoft, but he has his own YouTube channel where he goes through and does a lot of tips and techniques for Office. So he's very focused on the Microsoft products stack. So things like PowerPoint, he does some Teams videos as well. He does, Office 365 videos, Word videos, PowerPoint, a lot of videos around Office and how to use Office more effectively. Years and years ago, I had an instructor that once was instructing me, and he said, Office has become so big, has so many features in it, that it's no longer a productivity platform, it's a programming platform. And it's a bit of a joke, but there's a lot of truth to it. You could spend hours and hours just learning all of the features of one Office product, such as Word. And Kevin Stratford, I'm just going to call him Kevin, hopefully that's okay. So his channel, which is under his name, Kevin Stratford, has a lot of tips for Microsoft Office. And I highly recommend it. They're very condensed, very small little tips in there. And his channel has about 160,000, 170,000 subscribers. And very good channel for you to go in, get some really good tips on Office, complements some of the stuff I do here, but goes beyond things that I plan to do here as well. It's very focused on that one product stack, Microsoft Office at this point, so I don't know where he's going to take it, but it's definitely worth checking out, especially if you use Office as a tool. So the fifth channel that I'd like to talk to you guys about is a very small channel, only has 1,000 subscribers, and hopefully everybody here will go and check it out and subscribe to it, because I really do think it needs more subscribers. It needs to get a wider audience because it deserves a wider audience. And that's called, the channel's called Apps That Rule. And its very specific focus is on smartphones and mobile devices, which we all know that our students are using at an enormous pace. I mean, the mobile market is massive, and what this channel does is goes in and looks at different apps that are available on those mobile platforms and analyzes them. Now, some of those apps are for fun or games or those types of things, but there's a lot of apps in there that you might be able to incorporate into your classroom. On this channel, I made a video of how you can share your iPhone or your iPad screen onto your Microsoft Teams site, so you can present your iPhone or your iPad into a meeting. And I think we need to really ask ourselves, what are our students using to learn? And they are using computers if we're doing remote teaching, that's kind of a given, but they're also a lot of times using their mobile devices. So if we can find apps that help us teach, then how do we use those apps in a teaching environment? Well, this Apps That Rules channel has some great apps in there that you can then bring into your team meetings, or you can direct your students towards using in order to make them more effective and efficient in their learning. So check out Apps That Rule. I highly recommend you look for videos there that are applicable to you. Plus there's some fun ones that might be personally interesting to you. And only 1,000 subscribers as of this video being made. So hopefully it gets a lot more subscribers by the time that you watch this video. Okay, thank you very much. I really appreciate you listening to 5 channels that I think are really good. Now, if you have any channels that you think are good, or maybe you're working on a channel yourself, post down below in the comments. The more we share resources, the more that we make people aware of things that might fit their niche a little bit better, or might help augment what they're learning, complementary channels, ones that are going in a different direction but have value. That's going to help everybody. So let's share those resources, and the best place to share those resources is right down below in the comment. And while you're down there, you could also hit like for this video and subscribe if you want, but let's share some resources. You can watch these videos too. I've got some additional videos you could watch. There's lots of resources out there. Let's share them. Let's talk about them. Let's find out which ones are good and help us do a better job of helping our students and ourselves learning to be more productive and learning new topics. Thanks again for watching.